For those of us who spent many, many hours of their childhood playing Apba like me, the cards are totemic objects. They contain magic in the form of memories. I started playing seriously the summer of 1966 when I was 11 going on 12. A friend had introduced me to the game, and it opened up a world for me. I like baseball, but after I started playing Appa, I loved baseball. As the years went on, I stopped playing seriously. I still collected many years' sets, all of which are stored in my parents' attic. My parents passed, and I sold the house. The cards moved with me as I grew older. I started selling off the sets, especially the ones I never actually played, which by then was most of them. A few years ago, I sold off the remainders, all except for the first 2 years I played, 1965, 1966, as well as the three old-time greatest teams, the 20 Indians and the 31 A's and the 22 Browns. Last week, I hauled out the box where I kept 65 and 66. Those three teams, I slipped the cards out of the envelope, and while my eyes were looking at Mike De La Hoz of the 65 Braves, what I was actually seeing was my parents' dining room table. I was hearing my father cut the grass in the backyard. I was smelling Sunday dinner cooking in my mother's kitchen. The tears rolled down my face. Welcome to Game 1 of a new playoff series between the 1977 Kansas City Royals and the 1977 New York Yankees. The Royal stars, George Brett, Al Cowens, Dennis Leonard, Hal McRae, Paul Splittorff, and Amos Otis. They will be taking on these men in pinstripes: Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson, Greg Nettles, Mickey Rivers, Ed Figueroa, and Lou Piniella. We'll be back with the starting lineups in just a second. For the Royals, they will lead off with Fred Partek at shortstop, Hal McRae, the designated hitter, George Brett at third base. Al Cowens will be in right field, Amos Otis in center field, John Mayberry at first base, Joe Zeb left field, Darrell Porter the catcher, Frank White at second base, and pitching for the Royals, Paul Splittorff, grade B pitcher. For the New York Yankees, Mickey Rivers will lead off and play center field. Greg Nettles will bat second and play third base. Thurman Munson is the catcher. Reggie Jackson will hit cleanup and play right field. Lou Piniella is the left fielder. Chris Chambliss at first base. Cliff Johnson's the designated hitter. Willie Randolph, second base. Bucky Dent shortstop. Don Gullett, grade B pitcher, X and W modifiers. We're ready to begin this playoff contest. Best of 5 series. Fred Partek steps in for Kansas City. Led the league in 53 steals. 43 is a weak ground ball back to the pitcher. It's not Don Gullett gets as an X. So that's going to be a strikeout to begin the game. Hal McRae. 26 is a fly ball to Lou Piniella in left field, 2 away. And now George Brett. 51 is a fly ball to center field. Mickey Rivers is under it. He makes the catch, and the Royals are down quickly in the top of the first. And after Don Gullett has an easy top of the first, Mickey Rivers will step in the box for New York. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field. Joe Zeb is under it. 1 down. I'll try to remember to use the marker, but I can't guarantee that's going to happen. Here is Greg Nettles. 56 is a pop-up to the shortstop. Freddie Partek is under it. 2 away. Don Gullett completes his warm-up tosses, and he will face Al Cowens for Kansas City. Of Gullett, Pete Rose once said that he's the only man he knew that could throw a ball through the car wash and ball not get wet. Here's the pitch to Cowens. 1-2 is a ground out to the nobody because that's the next modifier, and Al Cowens goes down on strikes. Amos Otis. 56 is going to be a pop up to the shortstop. Bucky Dent is under it, makes the catch, and there are 2 quick outs for the Royals. Don Gullis retired the first 5 Royals. John Mayberry. 55 is a fly ball to center field. Mickey Rivers has it. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Lou Piniella will lead off for New York. 330 hitter in 1977. 41 is a ground ball to the shortstop. Freddie Patek has it over to the first baseman, John Mayberry. And Lou Piniella is retired. Lou Piniella came from the Royals. And then before that, he was a Seattle Mariner. But I think only in spring training of '69. All right. Chris Chambliss steps in. 45 is a base on balls. And the Yankees have their second base runner. He's rated slow, so they're going to play it safe on the base pass. The designated hitter, Cliff Johnson. 42 is another walk. And the Yankees now have 2 slow runners on base. For Willie Randolph. '56 is the roll. That's going to be a infield pop-up. George Brett is under it, and he makes the catch. We'll go to the ninth hitter in the order, Bucky Dent. '26 is the roll. That's a fly out to right field. Caught by Al Cowens of Kansas City, and that closes out the second inning. We go to the top of the third, no score. Okay, Don Gullett's back out on the mound. In high school, he once scored 47 points in a basketball game, 72 points in a football game, and he once struck out 20 of 21 batters in a baseball game. All-around athlete, bringing quite the fastball to one of the best fastballs in the National League. To the first hitter, Joe Zeb. 56 is a swing and a miss, strike 3, and Don Gullett, after a little rest, has struck out first batter in every inning. Here is Darrell Porter, the catcher, former Milwaukee Brewer. 23 is a ground ball. Or nope, that's an X modifier, so Porter is a strikeout. The Yankees are fielding on column 2 today, and the Royals are on fielding column 1. Here is Frank White, now a member of the Kansas City Council, steps into the box. 44. That's going to be a fly ball to center field, and Don Gullett has faced 9 batters and retired all 9. We go to the bottom of the third, and no score. Okay, Paul Splittorff is a tall, lanky left-hander for Kansas City. He had a very deliberate pitching motion, average to below average fastball, but he could throw the ball where he wanted to, and was a smart pitcher with a good breaking ball. Could get a lot of ground outs. Here's the pitch to Mickey Rivers. 2-6 is a ground ball to George Brett over at third base, who fires the ball over to John Mayberry, and Mickey Rivers is the first out of the third inning. Greg Nettles, Yankee third baseman, hit 37 home runs in 1977. 1-6 is a ground out to Fred Patek at shortstop. And here is Scrap Iron, Thurman Munson. 22 is going to be a base hit for Thurman Munson. He is 2 for 2, and he is the only one that has a hit in today's game as yet, and he's got 2 of them. Here's Reggie Jackson with the mat on. .25 is the roll. That's going to be a ground ball to George Brett at first, at third over to first for the third out. Go to the top of the fourth, no score. Okay, to the top of the Royals order, Fred Patek, 5'4" shortstop, leads off for Kansas City. 65 is a pop-up. Thurman Munson is under it and makes the catch. 1 down. Hal McRae. 1-5 is going to be a base hit for Hal McRae. A single to center field, and that's the first hit for Kansas City. Brings up George Brett, who for the first time kind of found his power in 1977, hitting 22 home runs to go along with his .312 batting average. Here's the pitch to George Brett. 44 is a 7. That's going to be a single to right field, and Hal McRae will make it all the way to third base. So first scoring threat in the game, Kansas City has first and third, and 1 down for Al Cowens, who had his best year in 1977. Cowens hit .312 with 23 home runs. The Yankees will play the infield back, trying to induce a double play. Here's the windup and the pitch. 55 is an 8. That's going to be a single to right field. 1 runner scores, and the other one, Brett, gets the third. So an RBI single for Al Cowan puts the Royals on top, 1-0. Amos Otis. Same situation. The Yankees will play the infield back. Here's the pitch. 25 is a 10. That's going to be a single to second over second base. 1 runner scores, but Al Cowens will be out at third, center field to third base, with the batter Otis going to second on a throw. But the Royals score another one, and now with 2 outs, it's Kansas City 2, New York 0. That brings up John Mayberry. There's the pitch to Mayberry, the Royals' big first baseman. 22 is a roll. They're getting a lot of good rolls, but that's going to be a ground out to the pitcher. 1-3, and that will close out the 4th inning for Kansas City. Score is Royals 2, Yankees 0. The Yankees will have Lou Piniella, Chris Chambliss, and Cliff Johnson come up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch to Lou Piniella. 56 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is the first strikeout for Paul Splittorff. Chris Chambliss. Chris Chambliss in 1976 hit the big walk-off home run that killed the Royals World Series hopes, and he hit the home run and had to touch second with his hand while all the fans were running on the field, and I think while he ran to second, another fan was running away with third base, and when he got to home, they had to lead him back to touch home to where home plate should have been. But the run counted, and the Yankees went to the '76 World Series. Only get swept by the Big Red Machine, though. Here's Chris Chambliss, bottom of the fourth. 34 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Amos Otis. There were 2 outs. Cliff Johnson. .34 is also a fly ball to Amos Otis. Yankees are retired. We go to the top of the fifth, 2-0 Kansas City. Joe Zeb will lead off the top of the fifth for the Royals. He hit .297 in part-time duty in 1977. 52 is a ground ball to third base, caught by Nettles, over to first. Joe Zeb was retired 5-3. Darrell Porter, the catcher. 52 is the roll. That's going to be also a ground ball to third base. Porter is the second out. And now we have Frank White. White fly out to center, his first time up. .22 is going to be a fly ball to center, his second time up. And the Royals are retired. We go to the bottom of the fifth, Kansas City 2, New York 0. Willie Randolph will lead off for New York. After 13 seasons, he came back to work in the Yankees front office and then was a long-time third base coach. Here's the pitch to Randolph. 54 is the roll. That's going to be a fly ball to Al Cowens in right field. One away, Bucky Dent. 1 year before the home run that broke the hearts of Red Sox Nation. 53 is an 18 on fielding column 1. That's going to be an error on the shortstop, Fred Patek. So Bucky Dent will be at first, average speed. And the top of the New York order with Mickey Rivers. .14 is the roll. That's a fly ball to Joe Zeb in left, and there are 2 away. Greg Nettles. He could tie it up in one swing at 37 homers in 1977. Here's the pitch. 44 is a ground out to the third baseman, George Brett. Yankees are done in the bottom of the fifth. We go to the top of the sixth, Kansas City 2, New York 0. Okay, Dunn Gullett held the Royals down through the first 3 innings, but in the fourth they got 4 straight singles to score 2 runs. Fred Patek, top of the order, will lead off for Kansas City. 63 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Mickey Rivers. 1 away. Hal McRae, the Royals' designated hitter, a very aggressive player, well known for taking out base runners at second base on double plays. Had a leadership quality in the clubhouse, and Frank White said that he learned to play baseball from Hal McRae. Frank White, Royals' second baseman. Here's the pitch to Hal McRae. Rolls at 2-4, which is a swing and a miss for strike 3, and McRae is now 1 for 3 on the day. George Brett comes up. Here's the pitch. With 2 outs, it's a 45. That's going to be a base on balls. Brett's a fast runner. Will take first on a free pass. Al Cowens. Don Gullett winds and pitches. 63 is a fly ball to center field, caught by Mickey Rivers, and the Royals strand Brett at first. We go to the bottom of the sixth, Kansas City 2, New York 0. The 77 Yankees did not have the most harmonious clubhouse in baseball. They were a talented team, but Thurman Munson did not appreciate Reggie Jackson's comments about he was the straw that stirred the drink, and not Munson. He can only stir it bad. And Jackson said he was misquoted on that, but Munson took exception to those comments. And he will lead off to the Yankees in the bottom of the sixth. Split doors pitch to Thurman Munson, 64 is a play result of 38 for ball one. Here's the one ball pitch. 46 is a 27. That's going to be a ground out to third base. Fielded by George Brett over to first base for the out. One away in the sixth. Here is Reggie Jackson. Jackson's 0 for 2, and I think he had particular trouble hitting Paul Splittorff. Splittorff owned Reggie and did pretty well against the Yankees in general. Here's the pitch to Splittorff. 21 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Splittorff's second strikeout against 2 walks. Here is Lou Piniella, who himself was a former Kansas City Royal. 54 is a fly ball to right field. Al Cowens is under it. He makes the catch. We go to the top of the 7th. Kansas City 2, New York 0. Amos Otis will lead off the top of the 7th for Kansas City. Otis got to play center field in the All-Star game in '74 when it was played in Kansas City in front of his home fans. Here's the pitch to Otis. 61 is a ground ball to the shortstop, Bucky Dent. 1 away. John Mayberry. He came to the Royals from the Houston Astros. 35 is a 14 is a play result, base on balls. Mayberry is a slow runner at first. Royals will play it safe. For Joe Zeb, better. Here's the pitch to Zeb. 15 is going to be an 11. That's a single over first base. The runner will go to second because they were playing it safe. First and second, the Royals have a man in scoring position with 1 out. Batter is Darrell Porter. 275, 16 home runs in 1977. Here's the pitch to Porter. 31 is a 9 against a grade B pitcher. Infield hit for the catcher, Darrell Porter. Bases are loaded. Okay, with that, we see manager Billy Martin coming to the mound. He is going to bring in a new pitcher. That will be Dick Tidrow. He is a grade B pitcher, Y and Z modifiers. I might have been looking at the W modifier on go with 1 out, bases loaded. The Yankees will play the infield back. And Frank White, the second baseman, will be the hitter for Kansas City with 1 out. Frank. Okay. All right. Can Frank White put a quarter in the merry-go-round and blow this game open? Here's the pitch. 35 is a 36. That is going to be a wild pitch. Everybody moves up 1 base, and the Royals take a 3-0 lead. That takes away the chance for the double play. New York will draw their infield in. Okay, with the infield in, runners on second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Frank White. 46 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. And now there are 2 outs. The top of the order, and Fred Patek. Patek is 0 for 3 in the game. Here's the pitch to Fred Patek. 65 is a pop-up to first base side. Chris Chambliss is under it and makes the catch. So now the Royals lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old Ballgame.
Chris Chambliss will try to get something started for the New Yorkers. They only have 2 hits in this game. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. 44 is a base hit for Chris Chambliss, and he does get it started. Brings up Cliff Johnson. Here's the pitch to Cliff Johnson. 1-5 is going to be a 8. Ground out to third base. Brett throws the first, but that allows the runner to advance to second. There's 1 away. Willie Randolph, 274 hitter in 1977. 55 is the roll. That's a out at first base. Ground out to the pitcher Splittorff. Runner going to third. Now there's 2 outs. The Yankees will send up a pinch hitter for Bucky Dent. That will be George Zeber, 323 hitter in 1977. He will stay in the game and play shortstop. That, however, will reduce their fielding rating to fielding column 3. But they're going to try to get a run here. Here's a pitch to George Zeber. 56 is going to be popped up to second base. Frank White is under it. Makes the catch. We go to the top of the 8th. Royals 3 and the Yankees nothing. Hal McRae will lead off the top of the 8th for Kansas City. One 4 is a fly ball to left field. Lou Piniella is under it and makes the catch. McRae is 1 for 4 on the day. That brings up George Brett, who is 1 out of 2. It's also a walk. Dick Tidrow is still pitching for New York. 1-2 is a ground ball to the second baseman. And Brett is retired, 4-3. Al Cowens. Al Cowens had his best year in 1977, hitting .312, 23 homers. 43 is a ground ball back to the pitcher, caught by Tidrow, over to Chambliss. Royals are tied 1-2-3 in the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th, 3-0 Kansas City. Mickey Rivers will lead off the bottom of the 8th, 326 hitter in 1977. Here's the pitch to Rivers. It's going to be a base on balls. That's a walk, and that's a third walk that Splittorff has allowed. Yankees have speed at first base. And Whitey Herzog gets some action going in the Royals bullpen. Stephen Gorey and Doug Bird are loosening up. Greg Nettles, here's the pitch to Greg Nettles. 42 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 away. Thurman Munson. 46 is a 27. That's going to be a ground ball to George Brett, who throws to Frank White at second. Over to first. That's a 5-4-3 double play. And Splittorff is quickly out of any minor trouble here in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. Kansas City 3, New York 0. Okay, in the 9th inning, the Yankees will bring in a new pitcher, King Clay. He's a great D pitcher. He will face John Mayberry, Joe Zeb, and Darrell Porter. Here's the pitch to Mayberry. 1-5 is going to be a base hit for John Mayberry. 1 for 3. Slow runner at first. Joe Zeb. Okay, Zeb will square around and try to sacrifice. 33 is a 7. He's going to be out at first. First baseman to the second baseman covering. Sacrifice is good. Mayberry goes to second with 1 away. Darrell Porter. 33 is a 6. That's going to be a double to left center. Darrell Porter drives in John Mayberry. Score is Royals 4, Yankees 0. Big insurance run, Frank White. 64 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. White is 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. We go to top of the order now, and Fred Patek. 53 is a swing and not top of the order. That's going to be a 19, fielding column 3. Hit by pitch. Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs. Hal McRae. 25 is probably a base hit. Let's see. That's nope. No, a great D. That is a single. McRae lays one down and beats out the bunt. The bases are loaded for George Brett. Okay, George Brett could truly break this game wide open with something here. 23 is going to be a ground out to third base. And Royals threat is retired. We go to the bottom of the ninth. They did score 1 run. Score is 4 Kansas City, 0 for New York. Okay, manager Whitey Herzog sends Paul Splittorff back out to the mound for the 9th inning. He does have Mark Littell now warming in the bullpen. He will face Reggie Jackson, Lou Piniella, and Chris Chambliss. And let's see if he can do a complete game. Here's the pitch to Reggie. 43 is a ground ball back to Piniella, or Splittorff. Splitty catches it, throws over to first, and Jackson is the first out of the 9th inning. Okay, Lou Piniella. 32 is the roll. 26 is a ground ball to Frank White at second base. Frequent Gold Glover makes the catch and throws over to first. 4-3, that's 2 outs. And the Yankees are down to their last out, Chris Chambliss. 65 is a pop-up. Behind catcher, Darrell Porter is under it, makes the catch, and that's your ball game. Final score, Kansas City 4, New York 0. We'll be back with a wrap. So Kansas City takes game 1 of the 1977 American League Playoffs best-of-5 series between Kansas City and New York. The Royals scored 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. The Yankees scored no runs on 3 hits and no errors. The clear star of the game today, pitcher Paul Splittorff. He pitched 9 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out 2 and walked 3. Paul Splittorff, a 1987 Royals inductee in their Hall of Fame, was a winning pitcher and was quite dominant today. He pitched in the playoff series in 77, 76, and 78, and was 2-0, was never defeated. Very consistent pitcher for the Royals. The first man to throw a pitch in the Royals organization, drafted 28th in the Royals expansion draft out of tiny Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa, an NAIA school. But he moved through the system and actually won more games for the Royals than Dennis Leonard did, and was Kansas City's first 20-game winner. After his career, he became a broadcaster, color commentator on the Royals TV and radio network. Also did some Big 12 basketball games. Don't think he did football, but very nice man and well liked in Kansas City. Very long time pitcher for the Royals and very consistent performer. Paul Splittorff, today's star of the game. We'll be back tomorrow with Game 2 from New York of the 1977 American League playoffs. Please join us at Apba Bryan and good day. God bless.